Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque, then in the same church, in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 419th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I will be host once again in this weekly series of ongoing workshops. I've been here for many years now with the same basic message with members and support members of the Universal Council who will be bringing that message to us once again this week. So without further ado, let me get the presentation shared. And we will begin with an introduction.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this series of program, One Nation, One Planet, One Race for Peace. Our goal is to talk about mostly what's going on in the workshop, the choice parts of the program. We're talking about the soul and the wishes of Universal Council. Also, it's a platform. If there's question to Universal Council and comments, you can put it in here to better the program, to better what we are learning. And I thank you very much for being here and continuing this series. I give a platform to Mark.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Mernez. And I can offer my time to Dean if he'd like to speak. But anyway, welcome, beautiful stars, to the One Planet Network. And of course, as Mr. Keshe said, peace is on the table. It's just for us to pick it up and develop it. As Myrna said, today we're going to cover some wishes. Again, working through the energy dimension doesn't take a lot of energy and doesn't take a lot of physical action. And this is part of the program. And exploring our energy dimension, of course, we'll have the soul connection. Just to confirm, we know we're already connected right across the universe with everything else. There'll be a portion of knowledge and understanding, transmutation. So welcome to the, in a way, alternative matrix that's being set up. I noticed in the video how the two sort of galaxies sort of split, and maybe this is what we're creating in a way. We have the existing matrix of war and killing and destruction and suffering, and maybe we're creating a second matrix in a way, or splitting from the first matrix, even though we'll still operate in that first matrix. But now we have a second choice, and this is the matrix of peace and enlightenment, cooperation and collaboration. And I'm sure your souls are aware of this, and this is why, or your stars are aware, maybe that's a bit more acceptable, and that's why we're all here, as we're just waking up the collective awareness, and we'll bring the change through our energies by giving. So thank you. We acknowledge and appreciate your presence with us today. Dean, would you like to add anything, or anyone else? Please feel free to express your, or contribute energies, let's say.
Thank you, Mark. It's Dean here. So I've been away for a little while doing some work in the background, and I've just joined today. I just wanted to catch up and be present once more. Thank you, Mark, for your introduction, and Marinez. For me, and the position that I feel is that we have all been going through a big transformation of energies. and those energies create different environments within our structure, within our very being. And as a collective soul, the soul of each and every one of us, that is basically one soul, if we refine it to the core of the creation, we're going through this massive transformational time, it feels like. And it's creating many different energies, as Mark was just explaining, that maybe it's a splitting of galaxies and universes. But if everything is in the correct plasmatic condition, that means that everything is perfect. It's the way it has to be. Whatever happens, whether it's in one direction or another, magnetical, gravitational, in from the inner section of yourself to the outer section, it's all the same process, and we all are going through this. And there's various different means and understandings that we, as as an individual and as a consciousness, as humanity, as the souls present, we're all experiencing. And I'm sure that many of us, many of you, have felt the same. This evolution of the the inner self coming forward and being present, and so that we're all experiencing different emotions and environments within our very structure, and then from that structure and from the way that we interact, we are creating outside of our structure. And for many of us, those interactions are now, we seem to be experiencing many, how can I put it, many ways that are making it difficult on our little journeys that we experience in the physicality. However, on a soul level, even though I've been away for quite some time now, on a soul level, my soul was always present. I always spoke with my soul and always made it available to be present always. And that's the same with all of us. The soul of man is present throughout, regardless of the physicality. And this inner energy state, when we understand that, there's always that connection. And I've noticed myself that when that connection, when I'm actually present and contributing, that presence, the field strength of it, so the energy state of it seems to grow and become more. I notice small things like when I'm in my physicality and I'm around and I'm out and about at night, for instance, if it's a starry night and I'm very connected and I've been connecting with my soul, the stars seem to twinkle and seem to grow bigger in the night sky. And when I'm disconnected and when I step away from some of this and I go back into the physicality, the stars seem to disappear and become much smaller within the night sky. I've noticed this quite a lot. So there's a direct connection with all of the structures of the energies of many, conditions of the soul and the physicality that we as souls and as physical beings on planet Earth need to come to understand. And so being present with the Universal Council again and all the beautiful souls that give so much to humanity and to all the created souls, it's a pleasure to be back. So I'll now hand that over. Thank you very much, Mark, and thank you, Mehran, for your wonderful words. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the multiple introductions there. And our next item here is an excerpt from the last 630th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And this is about the Valentine's Day session of February 14th. And we share that now. that. Maybe I can just mention a little bit about my experience, which was, it was difficult. I had a hard time with of all the transmutation and transmission sessions. This one was the most difficult by far, and because I couldn't find the grounding of that love in my life, and I found that I started to focus on the absence of love rather than love, and that became a problem. And I'm not sure if others had that kind of experience or not, or if they all had bliss and love and peace in their experience. So for me, I was it was disturbing in many ways. I'm still dealing with it. I mean, it's all okay, but it was an experience. And my experience may be the opposite of what most people had. I have no idea. So we don't hear you yet, Mr. Keshe.
Yes,
Oh, there we are. Yes.
Yeah, we experience. We had different people with different experiences in this session, in the last session, and amazing enough, the people we saw, what you're explaining is very clear in the image I put. We see clear line. If you remember, I told you there is a point in the brain of the man which gives us indication the break between the physical love and the soul love coming from the soul, and we see the separation. There is a gap where it reflects how we do outside. If you go to teaching last week, we see this in the graph. I'm trying to put the graph up, but somehow I can't because you're still in it and I cannot take over. I'm trying to share this. Do you see it? I mean, I see you a lot, but I see my pictures, which is very unusual. Never had this. There are two pictures on two Zooms, both were in the same Zoom.
Let me just try sharing differently. Maybe sharing my desktop was confusing something.
Okay. Because we see the line, the separation between exactly two parts, and it sits on the line of the soul and physicality. We never had this. And it comes up in every session since we tested this new combination. And you see it that it's a short intervals, but it repeats this. Even today's graph, because we are monitoring in the background, we see this process. We are trying to separate where the soul sits and the other one comes up.
Great to see that if we can somehow.
It's here. I see it on my Zoom, but I don't see it on share Zoom, but it's shared on my Zoom. I'm on the same page as you are.
Let me stop the sharing and see if that helps. So
Okay.
try sharing again.
I stop sharing. I start a new sharing and see if I can pull this up. I can see it on my page, but I cannot see it on your page, on the share comment. Very, very strange. We never had this new Zoom business has created this. Okay, what I'm going to do, Rick, I'm going to come out of this one. I'll send you the picture for you to put up, okay? I think that'll be the best way to do it. You see where I draw the line and go there, Rick. There you are. Okay, I'm sending you the image. Should be with you now.
Okay, just let me download it. I'll get it up here. Over and finally share. Okay, should be able to see that, I believe.
Okay, now if you open it up, you see where the line is? Red line in the circle.
Mm-hmm.
You see the two, the love of the soul and the soul of the physicality, very clearly, exactly what we thought will separate. The line here, if you look, the horizontal line is the central line. So it is amazing, and this is repeating itself in different ways in all the tests we've been doing in the background. Last week, the week before, because we run these tests, it confirms how comes a point where the right side is the physical side, the left side is the soul side. And you see even the shape of, if I can expand, I don't know, I can expand your mine, I cannot expand yours. Let me see if I can do
How
this.
about that?
Yes, if you see this disturbance here and the shape of it, this is what I want you to look at. You see, this has a step in, which means comes from a higher order from the soul, steps in, and then it becomes, but you see a clear physical separation here, this point, which confirms what we said. The soul of the physicality, the love from the physical condition, from love from the soulmate, comes and separates somewhere in the brain. This is physically exactly what we taught, and we received confirmation of it in these tests. And you see very clearly these are odd pictures from the recording of something 2 or 3 hours. We see this pattern appears, disappears, and this is why people feel the love on the physical side, but they don't feel the love in the emotional side. When the two match is when the fire starts. When the two emotions receive, because on the left side, which is a physical side, you receive the same feels from the partner, from the one you love, where the right side comes from the emotion of the soul of the same. It'll be very hard, as I said in teachings before. You tell somebody I love you, and we put the system and says, oh, it's a liar. And then we can see it. It's there. It's not there. It's the same. This is not technology which we have advanced it more. If you remember, a version of this in 2013, 14 was done with the guy who came to kill me. I sat him in the machine and I said, he's there to kill me. Because the same way we can see the pattern of the emotion, you cannot touch, you cannot lie with emotions. It's just a different presentation in a more solid way than the others. At the moment you go to, they say if you match blood that you can get married, you have to have a blood certificate in some of the countries that you match. Very soon it'll be emotional comparison, yes, but how long would it be there, because the blood is involved in it, and would the blood change? And does the emotion satisfy part of me which the other side doesn't do? It's very, if you look at the bigger picture, the picture you're sharing, if you look at the bigger picture, you don't see anything on the top as you usually see in this area or anywhere else is directed, the setup was set directly for the emotion of love, and it's in front of you. And that's why, as you said, there were some problems, because your life is committed to one person, and that is not there. That's why you have difficulty with it. This is one of the problems of the social operation in the new world of the internet and of freedom in the West. You live with someone, but you don't know if they actually love you or your love for them is the same as what you expect it to be. Nowadays, with more, I was watching, as you know, the Chinese in past few days have put the new robots, which breaks all the barrier, all the things we had about the robots. They actually live, walk, jump, dance exactly like men do, humans do. The only thing they are missing is a true emotion. And part of our new research center will concentrate on giving these robots emotion. How? What happens if we keep, because I know how to do it. There's a structure, we can give these into an AI system emotion. It's complicated, but it's knowledge we have. So what happens if we give the emotion to these robots? And as many of you know, this robot situation, industrial robots now in China is the only country we have dark factories. There are factories producing cars that there is no light at all, because all robots, they don't need light. And in China, known as the dark factories, there's hundreds of them now. They produce cars without a single person on the floor, only the mechanics if they fail, and there's no emotion to it. But now we see on the other side of industry, they are creating men, women who become partners, but no emotion, just verbal. You can add a lot of emotion to it. And somebody, as I said, I don't know, in the past, somebody asked AI, when would it be that the robots will take over the man and the man becomes a slave to it? And they think by somewhere up 245, I mean, what does come out? Maybe somewhere up 230, 35, will have robots see us as useless things to be around. With the emotion they create, see human race as an accessory. And we are very much at that point. We develop this, and we do these tests for control systems of the flights. It's not that we see how your emotion change, how would the emotion changes when we trust hundreds of thousands of souls or bodies or individuals in the hand of a pilot's emotion. Because we have records of it. Pilots, Egyptian pilot, wanted to end his life. So whatever, he brought hundreds of people to death. The history is there. True or not, we look at, there is a possibility, because there are recorded possibilities. And these tests are part of that. And this shows love very clearly, because we tuned it for love and we targeted the soul in that, and it's there. And the pictures at the moment coming from our research is done in a different way. I get it live, we have it. I'm looking at it even now. You try to see the presentation of the love and understanding of it. More or less, it targets the same. But we are looking at giving and taking in love. Here was just giving. And we are watching you as knowledge seekers. Some of you are connected, and if you sit in the panel, you see our systems are running. We are testing. We have separated with the new system the soul side and the physical side totally separate, but on the energy side and the physical side. So the graph has moved totally to the right, but separated horizontally, vertically. We wanted to see if there is possible that we can change the structure of the soul. We can fall in love with different things at different levels, and your knowledge, because without knowing it, you are confirming it. And it's very, very interesting. We have to. We are a space technology. We are putting man in a space. We have to test everything. We don't understand all of it, but the data is there for when the AI takes over it. We can explain this. When all the knowledge seekers, the space people come into us, say, this is the behavior. We want to test this.
Okay, that's our excerpt from the 630th Knowledge Seekers Workshop from last Thursday. In this case, regarding the Valentine's Day session.
And it was interesting. I think he added something, Rick, that thank you to the knowledge seekers in the last workshop for confirming what they were testing without the knowledge seekers knowing they were confirming what was being tested.
Yes, indeed. Some mysterious ways that are going on in the background, but we are, what would you say, willing guinea pigs for the experiment. So I'll just mention that Tender has a comment in the YouTube. It says, I think it's extremely sick wanting to give emotions to robots. It would be far more intelligent to do research on how to de-robify and reset people. Well, perhaps both needs to go on our planet, to take the robot out of people and put the people into robots.
Yes, you said right. It all of us lives in duality. Some accept this, some accept that. But sometimes, emotions we carry from with the robot or out of the robot. Everything comes if we choose to. As when we were younger, in our teens, there was only TV, no internet, nothing like that. But then when internet came, we just jump in, on the internet, mailing each other, have this all interaction, seeing documentaries and all. But what we do, it's our ability to understand, our perception, our knowledge, our level of understanding, how we be in this position of neutrality in a way. But still, this emotion have their level of understanding. So, as you said, Vic, my dear Tender, this is always this, when we choose our path, robots also helping, AI is helping, but when we don't choose wisely, nothing is helping. Even what we said, people around you, they don't help. But if you say, ask a robot, ask an AI, maybe you get the right answer sometimes. So this is what happens, Only it's our ability to understand what we should do. Like we were always in this condition of being always being, suppressed. I will say like that. Now, with the humans, I mean, they are all humans with so much love in their heart, as they say. But then they suppress even the father and the mother, and the grandmother and the grandfather. and the sister and the sons and daughters. And when we asked a robot, he gave a clear answer. And then you fixed it, like that. So it happens what we choose to understand. So this is very interesting. Thank you, Tender, my dear. So this is the World Peace Treaty, dear beautiful soul. Peacefulness is the most important thing. From within, from our, we have to accept, we have to understand. As you said in the Valentine's way, my dear Ruth, it has been through all of us. Mostly I have also felt that, because the love we have experienced here, we are now don't really understand the unconditional love. There is always a condition, but with the love, the Valentine's Day that is happened or it is going on is very different. Like a collective love. It comes in within you when you say I love you, and everybody is loved, kind of that. Even the trees, even the uh, 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 atomic structure of yourself. So this has happened. This has to be understood properly, because when we were, say I love you, you and me, and all that is gone. But here we are not conditioned. It is unconditional love. So my dear beautiful souls, be in unconditional love. We are experiencing this. We have to understand more and more, according to the ethos of Mitra, that um, speak good, do good, speak good, and act good, like that. No, the good is about you, how you perceive, how you understand, how you manifest the good. So the good is according to you. The good, I have grown up, maybe different, tender. The good you understand where you grown up, but the good is good. So that good is also has to understand how to act good. That is how, also to be understood properly. So here we are understanding, going in this path of peace and enlightenment, dear beautiful soul. And in this path, sign the peace treaty, as this is the most essential thing. Ohum Shanti Shanti. Ohum means from your inner self, your true self should be in peace first. Then you can understand everything, every condition, and you can interpret. You can transmute yourself. As we have grown with this interpretation, how to be, even so fortunate that we have this. We understood in this knowledge that we have this ability to transmute ourselves. We have this ability to enhance, elevate other souls as we are collective. That is to be understood. The love is collective, the peace is collective, the life and living is collective now. Going in the path of enlightenment and peace is collective, benefit of all. So, sign the peace treaty with your soul pen, with your pen, and I will say, be in love, dear beautiful souls. These are the times. This is the time. So, we as citizens of the earth from this moment on accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this, we all agree and swear with our nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body, and soul. Beautiful. Thank you, my dear beautiful soul. Sign the peace treaty. Be peaceful always and be enlightened with the knowledge of Mitra. I will say. Thank you, my dear Rick. Thank you. Anybody, any beautiful soul else want to say something about the World Peace Treaty?
Sweta, thank you. It's Dean here. Yeah, I'd like to say
Oh,
something.
thank you, my dear. Yes, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you, Sweta. Yeah, I would like to say how important this World Peace Treaty is, because for me, when I look with physical eyes and I sense with the energy state of the condition of being present within this planet, we see many circumstances and many turmoils going on where the physicality and the soul of the man, you know, the very essence of the man is not in balance, is not speaking with each other, is not connected. They're connected physically in the structure, but the energies aren't matching. And when they don't match, we create all sorts of conditions and environments around us, and mostly without us even realizing. So when we actually bring some peace within inside ourselves, and we understand the true gravity, the true essence of the magnetic fields that are creating everything around us and within us. So when we actually start to set an intention, a real intention, and you know that time when you think to yourself, I'm going to do something, and you say it, but you don't do it or mean it quite the way that you intend. So the intention is very important. And the moment that you really, you know, that 99% of the time, I think we say things or do things, interact in ways, and we're not fully present and we don't really mean it. And that 1%, if it's even 1%, when you actually really, really intend and mean it, and you feel it within inside yourself, you feel this field strength that actually connects directly. And the moment you do it, you think it, that very second, that very moment, everything changes. The whole atmosphere around you changes. The energy within inside yourself changes. And that's the moment that you really have the intention set for to give and to receive and to be present in a peaceful manner. And then when you understand that, you can start using that, the strength of that within inside yourself, and that can be then transmuted to, you know, from your body. So you're receiving it from, you know, from the universal flow, you're receiving it from the creator, you're receiving it into your soul. Your body then receives the energy, and then you can then transmute that energy to a nation, a territory, a council, religion, city, a town. And there's no limitation. And that is something that I've experienced a little myself. I've suddenly realized that you can, when you're in the flow and you really are, you know, in that moment of really giving, there is no limitation. And it really does, the energy of it affects huge areas. It doesn't stop. The only limitation is your viewpoint and what you perceive by thinking about it. And if you stop thinking, connect with the soul and use that world peace within inside yourself, you know, the global peace that is of a universal order. It's a universal teaching from universal teachers like Mr. Keshe that have come down or are present with us, come down, come up. Where yes, it's a sphere, it's all around us, it's in every aspect of us. When they are present with us and they teach us this unity of peace, we understand how outside of the sphere of planet Earth, how it operates. And on this this planet of beauty has many, many beauties and many wonderful souls that are present. And when those souls have the knowledge and really have the intention for world peace, whether it's within or outside of themselves, you start the process. You connect to the energy of it and it manifests. It becomes part of you. And this grows further out. And what you find is that, and I've experienced this myself many times, but when the soul is actually in alignment, and you connect with other souls that have the same energy intentions, and they are drawn to you. And when you lose that energy, that field strength, they separate. So this is what we call by magnetical and gravitational. You get like a pull towards you, a gravitational pull. And then if the energy changes, you get this magnetic flow away. And this is happening in many circumstances. You'll find that when a soul understands something that is being positioned or has happened or has created an environment through an energy flow, then the gravitational pull or the separation will naturally happen. And I think we're finding this with many physicalities on planet Earth at the moment, where when you create an environment and you create an energy flow in a certain direction, a certain way, it only leads to a position of separation. And when you have this peace within inside yourself, and remember, it's in the moment. It's the moment you think it, the moment you really feel it, and the moment you really are prepared to act upon it. In that precise moment, yourself, the creator, linked with the creator, will change, the whole energy mass of your interactions, and it is your choice. You have this capability, you have this free will, you have this ability to connect to energies, and then to give to another. So when you become peaceful inside yourself, it's a bit like giving someone, I suppose, a gift of whatever you want to describe it as, or whatever you would like to give. When you have enough, you can give more, and that peace within will then become part of the whole structure, from an atom to a universe. So the atom within inside our body has to start the process, and that can be whatever you wish it to be, whichever religion or whichever source of information and knowledge you receive. But this beautiful knowledge from the foundation is of an order from the creation. And when you understand that and you use that tiny part of that information and transmute it and give it out, it becomes something magnificent and much, much bigger, a huge totality. And humanity and the souls present, we need to understand this. We really do. And it's a beautiful thing when you become peaceful within inside the soul of man. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, Rick. I'll let you carry on now, guys. Thank you.
I can report on a world peace treaty idea that I'm currently working with and have worked with for years, which is the idea of bringing together the Aboriginal groups, the various native tribes, as one nation. And recently, the Aboriginal tribes have agreed to be represented as one nation, and they're getting together and agreeing to be represented as a nation rather than a series of nations. They consider themselves nations within, within the U.S., for example. The native groups consider themselves nations, but now they're getting together as one nation altogether. And this is very interesting to me. If we look at it across the entire world, if all the Aboriginal native groups agree to act as one nation, then they become like a new country or nation within the other nations of the world. So in a way, they are a nation without one physical position, or in another way, they're a nation of energy, or an energy structure, you could say. So In that, with that regard, there is one native nation who signed the World Peace Treaty. I have a copy of it here in front of me. It was in July of 2017 with the Cherokee, the Cherokee Nation of Indians, it's called. And two of the elders signed the World Peace Treaty. And so I'm thinking, what if all the Aboriginal nations could get together to sign the World Peace Treaty, and all of them will agree that they will not use arms and go to war and all of that, which most, if not all of them, are totally in agreement with. They haven't had good results with going to war with various countries of the world. They've ended up exterminating when that happens. So I think that this might be a way forward, as in that way, that greater nation of Aboriginals and Indians around the planet will be the first nation that will truly sign onto the World Peace Treaty. And perhaps that will be an inroads to them to be the first peoples that get to use the technology. In the same way that Mr. Keshe wants to guarantee that all countries of the world and all peoples have access to the new technology. He's always been very careful to make sure that continents like Africa and countries like China and whatnot are all brought on board as part of the plasma technology. And it makes sense to me that if the native tribes can come together as one nation, that they perhaps, if all my plans come to fruition in an ideal world, that they would be recognized as the first nation that would do so and get the technology, basically, which is perfect because the natives are often in remote locations where it's perfect for replacement of diesel generators for their power generation for a town or a village or whatever. And it seems like an excellent opportunity, and that'll be the spark that inspires other nations to sign on to the World Peace Treaty once they see how successful the technology is for their uses. So that's something that's come up recently, and I put the suggestion to some Aboriginal folks, and they're going to try to bring that forward. So we'll see if things progress in the next while, and I would look forward to that. Maybe it's time. Okay, that's my World Peace Treaty progress report.
Yes, my dear Rick, I also want to say that the native tribes all over the world, as you said, like the inner world for us, but they are really, really in India also. I have seen them in the mountainous region in Chhattisgarh where I live and nearby. I have I have also dealt with them, like very peaceful and very soulful also. They respect the nature, not like where we live. They put the plant and just throw it away when they don't want it. But they respect the forest. They respect every nature. Even they were hunting. They respect. Yes, 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 Mehran.
No, I think that was inadvertence. What I just muted that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, me too.
Oh, that. So they were hunting. They respect that this hunt is for all the community. So they are so collective in nature that they believe in this collective sharing, love, and still even the Mother Earth and the connection. And a very we say they are primitive, but they are very highly soulful. And of course, the Cherokee Nation, when in 2017 we were present in the knowledge seeker workshop, that was so happy time. They have signed this, and of course, those who are first in the peace, path of peace, they should receive the uh, mechanism of the universe. Thank you, my dear Rick, for sharing. Thank you so much.
Okay, perhaps we should move to the next position.
Just to say a short piece here, when he says we'll never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet. So let's say in the physicality, whether that physicality is in space or on this planet or in space. And I think this is the dimension of energy where we're promoting the idea of the ethos, which is the of Mitra, the thinking, especially in the thinking end. So that's the space perhaps he's referring to. Again, he said, if you don't think wrong, then you don't do wrong and you don't speak wrong. I think the speaking is, again, could be used as a tool of war. This is where the voice box meets the soul of the man and the soul of physicality, the words you can hear. So I think they're physical, but certainly that is a tool of war as well. But I'm just making a differentiation between making tools of war with the physicality, which we're all familiar with, but also in space. And I think this space is, in a way, the energy dimension right between your two ears, if I could put it that way. Something to contemplate.
That's good, Mark. And another idea came to my mind as well in regarding to space, and space is what we call the space around us. In terms of the think good, speak good, and act good are the three sort of worlds or aspects that are often mentioned. But there's another one I thought of, which is, what about text good? And chat good in the chats in terms of our text interactions. And that is also, it's not really part of think good, speak good, or act good, but it's definitely a way that we interact with others, and it does affect them emotionally depending on how the words come out that we put out into the internet or into that AI space, basically, that is the internet, that interconnecting thing that we use that we call the internet. How we interact with that and is also part of where goodness has to come out. And sometimes people on the internet are known for being sort of excessively blunt sometimes, or not considering the feelings of others and whatnot. But that's something that we could also consider in terms of text good and chat good. I suppose in a way it's speaking, but not really. And in a way it's acting, but not quite. And it's putting our thoughts on in black and white on in text, which is not quite the same thing as thinking. So I'm not quite sure which category text good fits into. So I'm making a new one.
Rick, it's Dean here. May I just say something? So what you're saying, I think, is very, very important. And because we are creating, constantly in every action we do, we're putting out threads of information, and those threads of information, those intentions, those creations, whether you physically type it, whether you send it off quickly in a chat, it still has an intention. And where does that intention come from in the moment? If when you do something very quick and you just throw it out there, where does that intention come from? And then sometimes when you think about it more, then is that intention from the same place? This has a direct bearing. I always remember Mr. Keshe taught this a long time ago, that when you listen to something that happens and you instantly react, a gut feeling sort of thing, this usually is the correct one. You're usually talking in direct contact with the soul. It's when when you start to rationalize it and go tick tock with the brain and think about it, then you're interacting with the physical body. The soul has already guided you and give you the inspiration and has guided you in a certain way. And if you are in tune with this, you'll find that where the soul is pure and will always give and will always find a way to give you the most it can possibly do, it will always lead you in the right direction in a certain way. And that energy transforms into many, many different things. So if you think if you're instantly replying to somebody, of the emotion that you're building up with inside yourself, and you flick something away very quickly, is that the physical side of you talking, or is that the soul? Depending upon the intention and where was the seed set? Where did the seed of the very interaction come from? And then if you take that seed of the conversation or the chat that you're having and then lead it back to the next point and the next point, and where did it all really start? Where did it all come from? From that one ray of intention. So, there's everything we do has a thread that connects back to us. And if that thread eventually leads back to us and we are the seed of it, the seed of intention, and we make it in the correct way, the energy is formed with a beautiful intention, that is always going to come back and give to us. Whereas if we make it a negative, or we make it a very, not a nice intention, that will go out, but it will always connect back to us. And then it's going to take energy from us. So it's your choice. You have to understand, the power that you have and the intention of your interactions within your environment. And every single thing counts. Every single energy transfer is your responsibility. And when you understand that, and then you take this forward, you understand how we amplify out our field strength out into the multiverses, out into the field strength, out into the planet Earth and beyond. And now you understand how we need to become part of the universal picture, establish that connection with the soul and start to emanate and create peace. Sign the World Peace Treaty, whether it's for your nation, your city, your town, your body, your soul, whatever position you would like to take or to receive from, but be present and be peaceful. Thank you, Rick. I think we can move on now. Thanks, Rick.
Okay, next we have what's called the wishes, and we'll have a number of wishes that'll be enunciated here, and we'll have a full minute of silence after each wish for a time to recollect and implement the wish. Okay, I think Moshfek will begin if he's available. Yes.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the people of the planet Earth for them to be able to connect to the Creator without intermediary.
We, from the universal creation as one soul, feel the suffering of all existing souls. We are feeling the peace in each existing soul, creating condition of a new time, place, what created of the universe, unicause, position, the unicause, position, soul of the creator. We are present, and our wish is our command.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the people of the planet to engage through the game of peace and enlightenment.
We, the Universal Council, elevate all souls in existence, present in the cosmic rivers of cosmic rays. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, make condition for the all structure around the KF to be supporting financially and to have what they need at the point of need to bring a total change. And we are present.
We elevate the soul of all members in the past, present, and future of the Universal Council as one soul, as part of the totality of the knowledge of creation.
We, the Universal Council, give from our field strength to empower the world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nations to a permanent and everlasting peace on this planet. Our wish is our command. We are present.
Okay, thank you for that. And next we have the connection between souls with Shweta, and also the soul connection.
Thank you. Thank you, my dearest. Thanks. All the love always. Join here, the universal love comes. Join the soul of man with the soul of physicality by speaking these words in testimonials. I love you, my soul. I live with you. I love with you. And I adore you. See what the soul will give back to you. And of course, it is giving back to you the universal love. And you have to understand that. Understanding is the most important thing here as we are growing up. Every condition is a learning process. So understanding the universal love, how to act on it, how to manifest on it, how to speak on it, and the soul will answer, guide you. Thank you. And we are in this realm of universal love, and the soul connection starts. And the soul connection is about, we are very fortunate that we all have this ability to elevate all souls in existence. So we are elevating and we are always in communication. We've forgotten that from eons, but now we know what to do, what should be, and in this path of peace and enlightenment, dear beautiful souls. So be the tribe of light and enlightenment, and the tribe is the core physicality of you. So I will say, focus on your breathing, breathing in and breathing out. This, this becomes this becomes the lifeline, the living soul you are, and how you understand to manage, to communicate with all souls. When you are breathing, you are communicating because you are present at this moment. So I will say it in Hindi, our Indian national language. So I will start. It will be for 2 minutes silence. I will start and I will say it is starting. So uh, I'll start. Thank you so much, beautiful soul. Thank you so much. And now I'll start in Hindi. आप सभी का शुक्रिया, धन्यवाद और आप सभी का अभिनंदन, कृतज्ञता से अभिनंदन करती हूँ, हृदय से अभिनंदन करती हूँ और बहुत सारा प्यार देती हूँ इस प्यार भरे एक दूसरे के आत्मा के उन्नयन के लिए। तो आप यहाँ प्रस्तुत हैं। सांसों पर आप ध्यान दीजिए, सांस लीजिए और सांस बाहर कीजिए। यही आपको जीवात्मा बनाता है और जब आप एक जीवात्मा हैं तो आप सभी से जुड़े हैं। ये हमेशा से होता आया है, ब्रह्मांड में, स्वर्ग में, जो भी आज कहीं पृथ्वी में, धरती माँ के साथ हम हमेशा इस सांस के द्वारा जुड़े रहते हैं और ये सांस ही हमें एक दूसरे से मिलाती है। तो हम शुरुआत करते हैं इस आत्मा के उन्नयन का जो उद्गम है, फिर से जो हमेशा है, लेकिन हमेशा एक उद्गम है हमारे द्वारा, हमारे बीच में। तो ये शुरू होता है और ये सिर्फ 2 मिनट के लिए है और अभी ये शुरू होता है। नाउ इट्स स्टार्ट फॉर 2 मिनट। धन्यवाद आप सभी का, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया यहाँ पे प्रस्तुत रहने के लिए, सबकी सुख संपदा और सुख के लिए यहाँ पे प्रस्तुत रहने के लिए हृदय से कृतज्ञता देती हूँ और आप सभी को ढेर सारा प्यार भी देती हूँ। थैंक यू ब्यूटीफुल souls for being here always, always, always for the peace, abundance and enlightenment of all souls in existence, beautiful souls. Thank you. Gratitude from the core of my heart and soul. Salam, namaste, salut.
Next, we have the invitation to the soul connection. And Marinez, if you could do the honors, please.
Yes, thank you. So, we, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and Universal family present at the earth, unifying at the soul level every time, every day, and at 9 p.m. CET. And the subject is unifying for the goal of giving from our old field strength to enlighten the souls of world leaders, to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nation to everlasting peace on earth and throughout the universe. I thank everybody who does that, even though it's not all the time, but whenever you think about it, because that's the spiritual way we can make the things go right and go to the path of peace. And everybody is winning on the planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehrnaz, my dear. Good to see you, sir. And now we invite you to connect with a member, invite all souls, to connect with a member of Universal Council Support and Universal Council, to send your questions, but we are all learning in this path of peace, and to be answered live each week or the needs of your community. It will be fulfilled now as everything is in this newness. So you can have this, have you say, interaction, your love in the Telegram groups of Keshe Foundation of different languages. You can join, you can ask. According to our understanding, we can say interaction of beauty and totality, and of course, love. So thank you. Thank you for joining as one soul of peace, dear beautiful soul. Welcome to the Telegram group of all languages of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to the beauty and totality. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sweta. And for folks that might feel the urge to become part of the Universal Council, here's the instructions from Mr. Keshe about being part of the UC. This is an excerpt from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of Keshe Foundation is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60 and they served during the 60 years they are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally. And we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of two structure of the nationality. understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we're going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sivan, Mehran ji, Mr. Keshe. Thank you so much. So I also want to add my dear wish to that welcome beautiful souls from all over the planet Earth, the beautiful planet Earth, to join the Universal Council membership and Universal Council support membership. So much eminence. It's the need of humanity. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sweta. Next, we have the knowledge and understanding from the 630th Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which was the last one of Thursday, February 19th. And I'll put on their background video that we play for this with our musical interlude as well. And please go ahead, whoever would like to start with the knowledge and understanding from the last workshop.
Thank you, my dear. In this knowledge of beauty and totality, in this understanding of the ethos of Mitra, I will say, in all the workshops we have been, guided to understand how to be in peace, how to be in this universal love. And the Valentine is always the trigger. So I will say that the emotions we are having now in this moment is like, it's like going everywhere. As we know, it is still going on, but now we understand how to recognize, how to be in this I am moment, I am present moment always. I have learned this. Many of us, many of us have learned this, understood this. Even the chaos is going on. Nobody's agreeing with you still. And sometimes it intensifies so much that you become sick, kind of that. But then the rejuvenation again, because we are in this knowledge, we understand we are in this path of the ethos of Mitra. We collect ourselves again in the collective. So we can go on with this universal love that is here. Now we can understand in all the way, in all the rainbow colors, in all the colors of the cosmic ray. In our meditation, we say the white fire of An, but this white fire carries every color you imagine. The combination we do, you have a combination of yours, I have a combination of mine. And thus this magnitude comes when we say, oh, so much, so much gravity it has been. Without that, the magnitude doesn't come in a way. So we see when in some flowers, they follow the gravity, and some flowers, they follow the magnitude. Some flowers bloom in the night with so much gravity. You attract with that. And some flowers in the magnitude, in the daylight. So it is always working in this way. So lovely. And I will say that always there is this knowledge. and all the knowledge seekers, all of us, the beautiful teachers of Keshe Foundation, helping us, guiding us, and also the soul. As we say, I live you, my soul. It is helping us. You know, I have this. I have seen my in the corner of my eyes the light. Always, from the beginning. Many of us have been this experience, but that was you, your soul, guiding you. Come on, come with me, like that. You know. Still, we have to kind of do this to say, as a young I am, as a Shweta I am at teenage. I have so that clarity of painting, dancing, and all, singing. And the I am came to me and said, come with me. I am here in your future. And all is done. So confident now, so much. So I will say, add soulfully to understanding this beautiful universal love that is a motherly, a fatherly. So thank you. This is all I wanted to say in this oneness of one planet, one race, one nation for justice and world peace. Any beautiful soul else want to add something? Please do, and so much welcome from the core of my heart and soul. Or we can go to the next presentation, my dear sis.
Sure, that probably is a good idea. Let's let me reshare here. And next we have transmutation time with Moshfek.
Hello everyone, this is Mosfek, representing Bengali language as a Universal Council support member. There is an interesting thing that happened on Wednesday in the Plasma Reactor group meeting. So we heard from Shweta a little bit about sort of a brief review of what some of the things that happened last Thursday. So there was an experiment that we were doing there where we were exploring our connection with the Creator together with our observation of hydrogen atom, where we had to consider the connection of the hydrogen atom with the Creator. This is a fairly challenging. It's a fairly challenging exercise. In a way, we have to, explore several areas which we're not commonly used to doing. So the interesting thing is that the following day, Thursday, Mr. Keshe talked about the connection, our connection with the Creator through the soul of man, and its interaction with the soul of physicality. But in doing so, we have to take into account both our connection at the soul of man level to the Creator and the connection of the soul of physicality to the Creator. And this, it's very similar to the hydrogen story. We have, in order to explore another soul, another entity, an energy dimension, be it our soul of physicality or hydrogen, the connection with the Creator plays an integral role, because everything is connected to the Creator in the end. But And the light, the white light, so to speak, that coming from the creator, takes on a different color depending whether it's a hydrogen atom with a human being, or, I mean, it's not just whether it's a human being and a hydrogen atom. Each human being has their own color, own expression, own being, and it's different. I mean, everything, every hydrogen atom is different for that matter. And the one to link to is very unique in the same way. So the bringing the connection of the creator into the picture is what Mr. Keshe said is key to the transmutation process. Because in a way, what's happening here is that we're exercising the unity of both entity and the both entity working together in unity. And when that happens, whether it's the hydrogen atom or the soul of physicality or any other soul, the interaction is immediate and, shall we say, omnipresent as well. So there is no gap there, and anything is possible. It's an operation beyond time and space as we understand in the material world. So, and being very much attached to the material aspect of this planetary environment that we are now in, bringing back the memory, so to speak, of this connection with the creator in every aspect, in every interaction, is close to, I mean, impossible for us because we've been so unfamiliar with that aspect of ourselves. So transmuting anything, you know, whether it's we are transmuting ourselves or whether we are transmuting ourselves with our clothes. We have to do the same with our clothes. Otherwise, we will be leaving it behind as we transmute, if we are doing with planetary transmutation. And, you know, due to present, you know, what you call situation on the planet, that may not be the most, you know, what do you call it, most correct way of going from one place to another. In time, yes, we will start, you know, start to appreciate our beauty and in its totality. So, and it won't be that big of a problem. But for now, well, we have to respect our current limitations and, you know, and do whatever we can to push the envelope of our transmutation ability. But the main thing here is that this connection with the creator, why is the connection with the creator so important? Because without the creator's energy, it's not the totality. We're missing, shall we say, the big part of the story. And that part has to be included to have the completeness of the interaction. And this is something that we have to feel rather than describe in words and all that. You know, it's a completely, it's through the emotion. Emotion in its totality with all its color and beauty. And it takes a bit to have a bit of effort on our part, being so limited in our current state as we are, to that fully expanded state where emotion operates in its, in the total totality of the energy dimension is something. Yes, it doesn't require much time or place or anything like that, but still, getting to it and just holding it for this brief period is challenging. And as a result, the experiment that we were doing in the plasma reactor group wasn't that easy for all of us, actually. But we recognize the essence of it in the sense that, yes, this is where we have to go. Yes, we are not there yet. But the important thing is that once we know where we have to go, we can get there, all of us. Whether it's a hydrogen atom, or whether it's our soul, or our physicality for that matter. So let's enjoy the journey. It's a wonderful time. Thank you very much. And if anyone wants to add anything to it or have their own color, add their own color to it, they're welcome.
Thank you, my dear Master. Beautifully said. Thank you so much for explaining.
Uh,
Yes, yes.
what I understood from this teaching this week was that God has emotion. We have the soul of us, which has emotion, and also the soul of physicality. And if we can find how to use soul of physicality with the emotion to contact emotion of God, we can transmute. So we have to learn how to work with our emotions and kind of our sixth sense, which we can feel things, we can feel how my mother is going 2,000 miles from here. So that's a new thing that we have to work on about the emotion of soul of physicality, which the soul of physicality is the one when we, in our soul of physicality, we decide to walk, we go somewhere. So the body follows the soul of physicality. And so we have to find a relation and how to master this. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Nana. As we hear the frequency, the universal love, the peace, and as you say, as we always love, like the music notes, Saregama, Saregama, Padhanita. Start from this humble note Sa and end in Sa. And again the Sa started. Sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. So this is the note, the sound that's never been spoken. So because love has no words, this is the frequency from within comes. So thank you, my dear master. Thank you so much, Nana.
Rick, just before you change the thing, it's Dean here. May I just quickly say something if we just go back one little bit? So the transmutation, thank you, Mosfeq, and everybody who's contributed with those wonderful words and your teachings. Thank you. For me, and some of my understanding would be that for all of us, when we get to a position, when we reach an understanding of the possibilities of how we can interact, and whichever religion or whichever field strength that you attach to or understand, this addition of knowledge that has been brought forward by Mr. Keshe and the Foundation, the Universal Council, it enhances what we've come to know. And you sense it, you feel it, you know, you really understand the position that it's the energy has flowed from. And the prophets we had in the past, so we go into the theological side of things, they had an understanding, they had a wonderful understanding, and they came to give some knowledge. The knowledge that's been shared by the foundation makes you all equal to what those prophets had. Because when you understand that, you realize that we're all part of the same totality, the same picture. So when we create in a certain way, when we match the frequencies, the field strength, the emotions, the interactions, our thoughts, intentions in a certain way, at the precise moment, you will find that you are, you know, the creator. So when you think, speak, and act in the moment with intention, you are creating the correct environment. So, whether you believe that it's all from the heart chakra or from the heart, or whether you believe it's from whatever position you've come to know, whatever knowledge you've come to know, when you bring the knowledge forward and understand that when you interact with an intention, you speak the words. You've allowed the soul to guide you to have the thought, and then you complete the action. And when you start doing this, you will find, and you have to do it in the moment. You have to do it in the moment, and you have to understand that the moment that you do it, you are creating. So if you stay in that position from one moment to the next, you'll find that you are, and I don't want to use this because I don't want to turn it into a cross or another religion, but you become the prophet. You become, the embodiment of the creation point. And this knowledge is above the theological teachings we've had before. It's an enhancement. It's the next stage on. And it's that connection to everything. So when you speak, think, and act, and in the moment, from one moment to the next, it means you can't move off of this position. And then you'll start to realize that by giving, you will receive more. And by creating this transmutation of energies, of your thought process, of your connection to the creator, you can manifest and create as you wish. But because you're in alignment, so you're connecting the dots, and you're connecting your physicality with the soul of physicality, which many theological people believe is the heart. From the heart, it's always from the heart. But when we now bring the next stage in, which is the soul of man, and the understanding of the soul of the man has come forward, and it's from a much larger totality. It's not earth-based. It's universally based knowledge. And so when you connect that part of the dot to the, the soul of physicality and then the physicality, then you're getting a much more energetic creation that is going to lead to a new position of your understanding. This is the Universal Council, and much of the knowledge is always spoken about and given in little parts, and it's for us to put the picture together. So as souls that are listening to these words right now, you must be in a position to receive this, because it's a wonderful gift from the Creator, from the creation. And these words mean that if you understand this knowledge and you interact with it, you can create peace, and you can create a transmutation of wherever you wish it to be. And once you start working with this intention and these interactions, these field strengths, you will grow your energy, your inner self, to expand and become consciously more, much more energized, much more field strength, much more power, whichever words you would like to describe. You will start to realize it. So if you move from one moment to the next in that pattern of thinking, speaking, and acting in the moment, and don't, so when something comes to you, always think of those three things and don't wander from them. And then you'll find it's very difficult to actually do anything wrong with intention, because you can't. And so when you actually align yourself with this, you will find that you will start to be more in flow with your creation point, the Creator, and your understanding will grow. You will become much more. Your understanding in this moment, from just receiving this knowledge, will expand your creation points, your interaction, your abilities, your beauty from this precise moment. So that is a transmutation of a gift that Mosfek and Marinez and all Rick and Mark and Sweater and everybody, Stefania, they all give it constantly. So understand the gift that's being given, put your dots together, bring this, the physicality, the soul of physicality, the soul of the man in line in the moment. Keep that presence, and you become this embodiment of the Creator. And we can change realities and interactions in a moment with the correct intention. And so we will be, and we are in peace, precisely present in this moment. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you to Dean and others. And now we'll have a discussion about the new enlightenment game of peace and enlightenment, as it's known. Would anybody like to start off with that? Well, let me start off then. You've already heard my sort of testimony of the Valentine's Day event. For me, it was as I mentioned, it was a difficult time. I couldn't relate to physicality, love. I don't have a lover. I don't have friends or anyone who lives with me or whatever. And it's kind of a lonely time in a way. So I was dealing with that in the session and thinking of all the ways that I was experiencing the absence of love rather than the presence. And I had to take a break in the middle of the session. And what I did was I started playing the enlightenment game. And I took about a half hour off and just played the game. And much to my amazement, it actually allowed me to get a handle on the second here. I've lost our space.
A handle on the session?
On the session and on my own emotions and whatnot. It helped alleviate that pressure and sort of negativity that I was feeling regarding addressing that question, and allowed me to get a sort of a breath of relief. And I thought, wow, this is interesting. And that perhaps that'll be one of the ways the game could be used in the future to help us through our points in our life when we might feel what we think is excessive emotional. Well, basically, it's a not an addiction quite, but it's an attachment. We get attached to certain emotions depending on our conditions that we go through in life and our particular intention and attention and everything else involved. And sometimes we just need a tool or trick to snap us out of our negative state and give us a broader vision of what the creation is really all about. And for me, just playing the game during that time alleviated that tension, and I was able to get back into the session and continue with it. I still had to deal with my emotions and so on, but I had a much better grip on that. I was able to detach myself from the emotions somewhat enough to find ways to deal with them rather than just experiencing it. So I thought that was quite nice, and maybe it'll help someone else.
I would like to add something. It's in a different direction though, but one of the things, I've been playing the game for a while, and I have certain scores. I think it's good enough in many ways. So one of the thing is that, as you play the game, your plasma increases. The count for the plasma increases. So I mean, I was thinking, do I need to increase anything? I mean, I have enough of any of these things. So I was well, recently there has been some change. Your enlightenment went down a lot. I mean, essentially, which is essentially some sort of count of your visiting the country, and it was like 1% or something like that. So I said, okay, at least we can increase that one since it's very low. But I was trying to see whether there is something else that can be done. So I mean, I said, well, the plasma increases and then you use it, it decreases. So I was trying to think of like keeping the plasma constant while playing the game, and because I have enough. So it's one of the interesting thing is that once you have something, you have sufficient, you have enough of it. There is this balance point we can just keep instead of more and more, and it is actually an interesting feeling, and this is what I wanted to bring. It's kind of like more peaceful way of playing the game. No, I don't have to increase any of my score. I just, stay there. It goes up a little, it comes down a little, and, but there is progress still. So that's one of the things I kind of enjoyed a little bit. And, it's a different way of looking at the game. It's to create a balance on our own. And the balance for each of us will be different, as it is the case with life in general. So, I mean, for example, Rick achieved his balance of the emotion with in the meeting by playing the game in a different way. So it's bringing us to balance, or shall we say peace. Maybe there are different ways of getting to it. A balanced state, not desperation to, get our scores up, get ours, drinks, connect as much drink as I can, or whatever. All of these things. It's just enough, in terms of resources. Yeah, I have enough, so how do we make it kind of balanced is something interesting to explore. Balance or a peaceful state. That's how I would put it. I hope this helps others who are playing the game. Anyone else?
Well, I'm seeing this in a way as an incubator. Obviously, it worked with Rick. He went into the incubator for a few minutes and came out. And what triggered that was what Mr. Keshe said about, of course, a lot of things, but he's been working on understanding the transfer of the energies from the 3I. And of course, the recent sessions are not transmutation sessions. He's saying they're transmission sessions. And that's what they were doing on Valentine's Day, trying to transmit this emotion of love. And I think this is a type, an aspect of it is, again, an incubation process. As he said with the 3I, our energies were adjusted at that point in time that we could tolerate more. And I'm thinking of these levels of the game where you have to make 2 visits. Now, this keeps your physicality in the game for a number of hours, or in the incubator, let's say, where he can currently or in the future start to transfer certain emotions or certain fields through this game. As he said, the killing is the cancer of the man. So I think, as he said, you play the game, you support in 622, he said, you play the game and you support the whole structure of the World Peace Treaty. And again, the World Peace Treaty is about what? Finding peace within yourself first, not the others. So I think this is, and Rick just gave a beautiful testimonial of how he sort of came back into balance. I know he's talking, Mr. Keshe was saying, we don't understand fully the creation of emotions, how they're produced, or how to control them, how to balance them, how to match them with the soul of the man and the soul of the creator, as Mosfeq was just describing, and then we become that. So I think this is, in a way, an incubation process, and as you move up the levels, you'll have to spend more time in the game because you need more visits, and this almost like creating the Dome of Peace, something for your physicality to do and something for your energy dimension to do. Well, the game is a physical, something that would keep your physicality in there by, you have to sort of visit these places where you do it a second at a time or a minute at a time and so on. And then by keeping the physicality there, there's a transfer of some emotions to, in a way, you're gaming yourself without you knowing it to become more peaceful. So I'm seeing this as quite a large reactor. We know Mr. Keshe is bringing in many toys to support this whole process. We know we have the One Nation Network, and here's the game that's embedded in it. We have the association for the Keshe Foundation now, which is, again, not a Mickey Mouse club. We have the coin. the knowledge from the 3i, the Mark Ray Corporation, and all of these, the cosmic ray materials. And it's all working together in a way to enhance this incubation process, whether it's in the game, working with the cosmic ray materials, being part of the association, or getting involved in the One Nation Network. So he's doing pretty much everything in the background. He's just asking us to support and develop the game. And you can develop the game just by playing it, as the observers in the background are sort of doing the development for us, or correcting. This is only the beta version. And even your background, Rick, on the last workshop, I felt it was like headquarters of Game Central in a way, even though it may be decentralized. There's probably no central point, but it'll be a decentralized where monitors and other people who are involved with the game were sort of in that room in a way. But it'd probably be a decentralized central station, if we could call it that. So I think this is a processing apparatus. Again, freedom of the man hidden within the gameplay. So that was what I wanted to add about the game. And of course, there's many features, like you see the marketplace and the blog and all the rest of the things that will start to, and I think this game will certainly come alive more once the cosmic ray antennas, or the energy dimension, is sort of introduced in the coming period, whenever that will be. But he said you wanted peace. I've put peace on the table. This is the game in the One Nation Network for us to pick up and develop and encourage others to participate. And Rick, you were mentioning the First Nation people, and of course there's much poverty in the First Nations people, and I hope they do sign the World Peace Treaty. And of course they can bring themselves out of poverty as well by playing this game. And I know we have a lot of poor people and poverty in the United States, and this is what Mr. Keshe envisions: 1 billion people bringing themselves out of poverty through this. Again, I don't have 1% of the details, but I'm just playing the game. And hopefully I'm being elevated in a way, or elevating myself. I know there's some features where you can give to yourself and you can give to others, and some of these beacons that arise and so on. So I'm enjoying it. But I think the idea of this tedious part of having to visit countries twice and then 4 times is to keep your physicality in the game, as the hidden technologies embedded within it, just like the workshops, are having a subliminal, if not conscious effect on your balance, or your interaction, or your enlightenment, or just becoming more peaceful. I think the more peaceful you become, the more enlightened you are. The more enlightened you are, the more peaceful you should become. And this is 2 of the main aspects of this game: peace and enlightenment. But it's for you to pick it up and for you to play it as you choose. And as he said, in March 21st, there'll be a major announcement that will change many of your lives. So we'll have to see what this announcement, perhaps it's we all become millionaires in a way, virtually, through the gift of the Keshe coin, not only to the governments, but to every citizen on this planet, that they're born a millionaire. Of course, that needs to last 100 years or so, and you won't be able to spend it nilly-willy. It'll be heavily monitored, and maybe that monitoring is what you saw there as well, Rick. There's going to be a lot of people in the background as more and more start to come into this alternative matrix, if we could call it, or a network of peace, as I said earlier. Different than the current jungle or structure you're in. And you won't be able to get out of that structure. That structure will eventually be subsumed into this structure. As we see fields that create black holes, one is sort of, in a way, subsumed by the other. So eventually, in time, and as we hear more and more people come out of poverty, and as life becomes harsher to live, as Mr. Keshe said, the Keshe coin will become the effort of the man. I don't have all the details, but I think the foundation is well set to bring this about step by step with your support and participation as you choose.
Well put, Mark. Okay, perhaps we can get to our announcements from the Last Knowledge Seekers workshop. I've got a video on that. It's about 24 minutes, so you can kick back and listen to Mr. Keshe describing the latest from the Keshe Foundation. Okay, I'll share that now.
We are still looking for scientists who can join Keshe Foundation for different aspects of the space technology, agriculture, medicine, environment, materials. We putting our, what we call our request out to international companies to join us in this endeavor. If you are qualified in any shape, or you sent us a request a couple of years ago or a few months ago, whatever, we posted back to info@keshe.foundation. We don't want knowledge seekers who just do something for a hobby or whatever. We want scientific data. If you have something, you develop something, has to be scientific and has to be, for us, something which adds to our work in the space technology. We are looking for doctors, medical doctors, specialized in certain categories. If you are alternative doctor, especially in what we call herbal medicines, we are looking for that kind of doctors. If you are from China, it's always better for us. If you're in herbal medicine from India or Central Asia, we still would like to look into it. We're looking for people who have a space background, military defense space background, who know about the flights and the rest. We'd like to bring you into research and development of the Keshe Foundation. We're not talking about interaction or start of the work in months. It's immediate. If we see you fit into our program, we call you in, we make you an offer, and it's for you to join the system. If you're in communication satellite system, we are looking for. If you are specialized in AI and computer programming, especially if you're from Iran, we are looking for that kind of expertise. We're looking for people who can plan and are in marketing, international marketing of products. We would like to hear from you and see how we can collaborate with the foundation. If you're running companies in countries with multi-outlets and you have a good base on the internet, we would like to speak to you for the process of the products which are coming in. The Keshe Foundation website, as you'll see today, will be wiped out very soon. That's why we put the products to be cleared out. A newer structure, international structure, will come into operation, which will be delivered in the whole process. We are ready to move if we see the right appropriate people. You'll be engaged in the laboratories directly within a few days. If you can move that rapid, we are prepared to accept you. You can go to our human resources side. We go through everything. Just because you're a knowledge seeker does not give you any priority. And as we know, a lot of you, if you have a structure in the background, we are prepared to look into it and call and bring you on the full-time employment on the contracts of 12 months to 36 months renewable immediately.
Does the concept of better and faster results, is that part of that configuration somehow, or
in the
how do we
future,
approach that?
in the future, the plan is that all the systems lock to each other. There is a way to do it.
And the present systems are not set up that way with it. There's a method which needs to follow all the systems. All our systems coming up, all the 10,000 ONNs going out are connected to each other irrespective of the internet. They'll be connected there because the design of the plasma antenna is that way. You can't get somebody else coming and connecting into it. It's impossibilities. The 10,000 units only connect to each other. You cannot bring another. If we set up, let's say, another 10,000, we have to find a tool to work with each other, because that 10,000 will be set up in another dimension, another structure.
Okay, another question.
By the way, speaking about ONOs, hopefully the first ONOs should go out if we get it all done before end of the month. And then once, as I said, the first 25, I think they've sorted some of the teething problem. Then the first 25 goes out. We give it a month till what we call hopefully the 21st of March to see any teething problems. And then this first cycle of hundreds will start going every 100 at a time. Yeah.
Okay, George has another follow-up question on, can the Keshe plasma fields absorption butterfly be used on the One Nation network unit, stick on its side panel or hang on
No,
the
do
walls?
not do it, no.
Can we put the butterfly on the walls in the room where the unit is
But
placed?
do not connect it to the One Nation systems. One Nation systems have a special way they're developing the antenna.
So it's okay if it's on the walls in the room, but not on the unit? Is that the idea?
Yes, don't put it on it directly intentionally. Let me explain to you something, bring it to one and all. As I said, we are looking for scientists and the people who are in different fields. We try to set up an environment that all the knowledge seekers live with their families in one campus. We are building a structure that knowledge seekers can transfer knowledge from agriculture into medicine, into space and everything else. In the next few months, those of you who join us or people who come from outside, because now we start taking scientists or people from outside the Keshe Foundation, we're training them, we teach them with the experiment or exercise or whatever, the knowledge of the foundation. You'll be living, or majority of you, in one campus, in one structure. And when we employ anyone, we take the whole family. It's not that I'm going to this place on my own. We are responsible for your children, your family, accommodation, and making sure you work with a peace of mind. To my belief, it's no use bringing pain to people just because others can have a good time when they're trying to keep the family. So if you try to understand, the process is a new space center structure is getting set up, that you all the people who work in this technology literally work in one environment, live, and in a way, we try to make it bigger family. If you're from different nationality, we even trying to get your favorite food, a supermarket which matches your culture, that everything is our response. Your job is to create systems which creates peace for humanity. This structure is not something we dream to do, it's already structured. Number of knowledge seekers who've been around knowledge seekers structure already are working within this structure. It's not the future, it's the present. We do not disclose where the system is taking place. We're working with governments and knowledge of the what we call governments, what we are doing. So when you'll hear more and more about this, is that it's not something that's going to happen in the future. This space center, this structure of bringing all the technologies is already structured. There are scientists who are working in this. Experiments, development, commercialization is already in progress. It's not something we are going to do in the future. So if you have any expertise, if you know anybody in the fields we are looking for, let us know. And then our team will get in touch. And through non-disclosures, you'll never know they join us. They never know the research development. But the Future Space Technology Center has already been set up. Small factories, large-scale development trials is already underway. It's not something we are going, but to our structure, we keep everything very secret, very controlled, that we don't hit what we had in the past. It's not in any country you think it could be. We have well protected our structure, and we are looking for specialists who can literally walk off the street into the lab and work with other scientists for space development, defense technology, space research, in all aspects of the Keshe Foundation. Material, you're expert in it, we want to talk with you. You're a doctor specialized in certain medicine, you're an agriculturist, we are a specialist in desert, in fishery. You can join us as a full-time staff of the Keshe Foundation, international organization.
Well, the mother has no breast milk available for the newborn. So is there a plasma-based solution that can compensate for that?
I think you have to understand the reason. It's not just is it psychological? Is it physical? This is a very common thing for the first days, weeks. Mothers don't produce milk, and suddenly there's a flood of it. Or the brain has a trigger mechanism that has to be done by the doctors. You cannot just jump in and say yes.
So there would be no specific combination of amino acids and so on that can be used.
No.
No.
In a coming time, could be a possibility of a solution where you can put a child in the solution that he absorbs all the energy. Like, we're testing this in a very special way, and in the future it will be available maybe in 6 months, 12 months time, because this needs a special development, and is that you can absorb energy what you need from the environment, but you have to organize it. At the moment we are testing some new structures with this, but you should be able to transfer into the mothers in the space don't have a breast in a way to feed, because there is no food, they get that way. So we're creating environment. We're bringing some of the top specialists for this job. We have a gentleman from Pakistan who's specialized in what we call fetus development. He is a reputable specialist in this. He's joining us in the research center, and one of his job is that if we can carry the fetus without the womb to survive within the structure of the plasma. He's doing some research at the moment. His final years of his PhD, final weeks of his PhD, and he transfers back to Keshe Foundation for this research. And as I asked him to look at that, we can create a womb of the mother in space-time. We put the children in an incubator when we look after them from 28 weeks, 22 weeks nowadays, and they survive. What about if we create an environment after it? And he understands. And if you come to a research center, you most probably see him. And he will join us in the completion of the cycle. Yes, it is possible You don't have to worry if the mother has the right milk, child received the right nourishment. This process is not just the feeding, it's supporting the soul and the energy of the emotion. Because we don't look at it just feeding the children. You look at the European American children, or most of the children in China, whatever, which are bottle fed because mother goes to work, grandma is there, and the bottle. You see, the structure is not normal. And when you see the children who are breastfed and brought up in breast milk or normal environment, are totally different. And is it because of the not love of the mother, children become so pumped up, as we call it, or it's the lack of emotion, the touch, the love? Can we carry the emotion? This is part of what we taught today. Can we carry the emotion of the mother within the structure that a child receives the love and the care? Can we create the emotion of love in that incubator? We are not growing calf and cows and sheep in the chickens in the laboratories. It's a human. This emotion will come later on. And these are the things I've spoken in depth with the scientists, and what we will do. We create emotion feeding. But at the moment, no. Maybe in the next 12 months, 2 years, we'll introduce these kind of incubators for test. If the child doesn't feel hungry and is in the environment which has nothing attached to it, but is available for it to take, and it creates a healthy child. Doesn't matter if the child is 24 months old, 2 weeks old, or 2 years old. It's the way we will feed the future, but we start with actually the first trials we start with the animals.
What about the idea of creating blood with sort of artificial blood with the GANS products or some other plasmatic?
This is already in line for production, but in a specific way.
Could it be the way that creates a man that has no aggression? In other words, peaceful blood, and maybe we could have transfusions for those that need that peacefulness?
The blood we produced was tested by FDA. It's not something random. Was tested by FDA officers. And the way we produce it, that people always show that they think they can do it. But the way we produce it has been tested by FDA, and they tell us the way we produce the blood matches to every blood and can help a lot of conditions, including the emotion and energy. This test was stopped for other reasons, nothing to do with our test, other aspects of the interaction. But we know, and actually this was on the table with our team past couple of days, and that part of our production in the factory is production of what we call universal blood. But do we need to give the blood, or can we transfer the energy of the blood across? And we have some tests which are getting done now, hundreds of liters of it, for some experiments.
It does mention here, you can ask in the comments section of the product for customization regarding colors for all options, or colors and mixing shapes for the 2-piece sets. So it seems to indicate that they're 2-piece sets.
Yeah, because it's as one piece, because, for example, you put one on the table, you put the cup, and you put the other one on top of the cup. So right. It's the way you set up these coasters, or you put 2 cups on it. But primarily, if you remember, we do these water jugs with GANS material in, is replacing that, because each cup each plate is slightly different, so it charges up very much the same. In a very near future, in a limited number of countries, we will introduce certain products which cannot be supplied to other countries due to taxation and legal terms, where the products will be on a nationwide availability, not only in the Keshe Foundation store, but in retailers, the way we do now in Europe with the pharmacies, the Keshe products. This is a larger scale operation. We'll explain to you, it could be from food to water to other factors. So you can actually buy a Keshe Foundation product as a plasma product very soon in supermarkets as a product for a specific capacity. All sorts will be done, and then we inform you. We're just about we are in the first stages of production. When the first products are ready to be marketed, we announce in given countries where you actually can purchase these products. Is nation by nation, and then it'll come to the process of how you get access in different nations to the same, or we set up structures in those countries. If you remember, we started this process in a very different way some years ago in a couple of countries, but now Keshe Foundation has concentrated all its efforts in one nation, one country, and all the research and development is pouring into it. And this will be one of them. You can buy literally from plant pots to fish to what they call grocery, developed, marketed on the mass market under the banner Keshe Foundation Plasma Technology. And it'll be the same for the introduction of new, what we call application in the health, that will be coming out. And we're talking in a different scale as part of the process. But it's just wait for about maybe a couple of months, and as the process is completing, we'll bring you into it. And it'll be only for that nation or certain nations which can be what we call shipped.
Does the Spring Keshe GAN's handmade resin ornaments, specifically the flat egg with motifs set of 3, could be worn as a gem on a gold, silver, or cotton chain around your neck? Thank you.
We advise you strongly not to put anything like this on your skin. These are ornaments for the environment. We advise you strongly to not use them for holding on your body or whatever, or as a necklace. When it comes, we can produce really such a thing with them.
And to be clear, it mentions the resin used for the figurines is non-toxic and food safe and odorless, but you're talking about the field effects of the ganses and the skin.
Yes. It's taken a lot of research to find this material. As far as we know, only one company in the world produces these kind of resins. And so we pay more for it, and just to be safe. And it can be used as a food product in a way we can use it later on in cups and all sorts of materials.
Okay, well, do these ornaments have to be used in pairs, or do they have the same effect as the resin coasters?
Yes, in a way, yes. You can hang them in a drink. You can hang them in a liquid that it is in the house. It can be done, but you have to make sure they stay safe. They deliberately brought this out, that is food safe, is certified as a food safe product.
Okay, so they wouldn't have to be used in pairs, I suppose, but maybe it's better that way.
Yep. It was originally done for Christmas trees, but interested in different ways, and that's why it's been expanded this way, for the rabbits or whatever, for the Easter.
Okay, next question.
It's very nice, you know, the tradition. I don't know if you have it in the US, I think you have the same, but in Europe, families hide eggs around the garden and whatever, and children go and find it. This is that kind of structure. Or the eggs we put out was for that kind of thing. Because children find it, they keep it, and then it becomes part of ornament, and it affects the environment of the house, the environment of the bedroom they live in.
Would it be okay to keep in a pocket, for example?
Yeah, no problem with it. It's just that don't put it there. Don't put anything with the gases. Long-term touch with the skin.
Okay, that's our excerpt from the 630th Knowledge Seekers Workshop about announcements. And we get back into our presentation. Okay, I believe we're now at the needs and wishes part of our program. And I'll remind our audience we'll have a 30-second moment of silence after each wish. And I think we begin with Mehran or Shweta.
We, the universal concept, this release from our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders present in the Middle East. Now, our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for protection of those living in fear in natural disaster areas. And our soul wishes, and our soul wishes to help cover all emotional and psychical needs. Okay, that's it. Yeah.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflicts in Sudan and other areas only by greed with unconditional love and inner peace so that they respect the lives of all populations because they are sovereign and free. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul collectively to protect all the world and Iran from all evil. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal.
Thank you, my dear. We are here to serve, not to be served, your beautiful souls. We are all together like a big family, universal family in this game of peace and enlightenment. We are one. Never feel lonely again. Thank you. And welcome, welcome, welcome again to the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Swagatam into the beauty and totality of all universal soul. We are all souls in existence. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all that is love always. Thank you, my dear, beautiful souls, to be present here always. And gratitude from the core of my heart and soul. Thank you so much. The Universal Council, one planet, one mission, one race for justice and world peace. This oneness is unique. Thank you. Thank you so much. And salam, namaste, salute.
All right. Well, thank you, Sweta, and thanks to all the members and support members of the Universal Council who are present in today's workshop and then present on our planet to help with the transition into the world of peace that we're moving towards. And Thanks to everyone for joining us today for our 419th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. We'll be back again next week, which will be into March already. And let's see where our calendar's at here. Yes, it will be March 3rd already by next Tuesday. So please join us again then. Our next public teaching workshop is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which starts tomorrow, Wednesday, February 25th at the 7 a.m. Central European Time. And we discuss and show things of the plasma nature in that class, with an emphasis more on the practical and experimental end of things. And again, that's Tuesday starting at 7 a.m. Central European Time, which is the same as tonight, February 24th at 10 p.m. Pacific Time. All right, and of course the Knowledge Seekers workshop coming up on the 26th, starting at the usual 9 a.m. Central European Time with Mr. Keshe. Okay, I think that wraps it up.
Then the reaction is clap, clap, and dance, dance, beautiful soul.
Yes,
All the
indeed.
love always. All the love always. Blessings, my dear beautiful souls. Don't feel lonely ever again. Dance, dance, and clap, clap.
We missed your lovely voice last week,
Oh,
but thank you for being here, Shweta.
thank you. Thank you so, so much, my dear. Thank you. Clap, clap, and dance, dear beautiful souls.
Yes, indeed. We'll clap and dance our way into the day or out of the day, depending on where you are on the planet. And again, thank you all for attending. See you in the next workshop. Bye for now.